This is the kind of Ana Pavlova.
Yes,
Back in the time.
yes, yes.
Hey, it's Josephine from ThePointeShop. I'm in my Oakland showroom today in California, and it's so exciting because I got to fit this guy named Roberto Vega, who is one of the creators of male ballerinas, and he has one of the best feet I've ever seen. Where are you from?
Puerto Rico.
Oh,
Yeah. So
hey.
yes,
Okay.
but it's it's a tiny island, and I definitely looked like it was in a little bubble. I knew I wanted to dance on point, whatever that took or whatever that meant. I hate the old tours. I still do, but it was like a thing of like I didn't have all these role models to aspire to, even like as a student or even like in the company. There were very few male dancers in the island, and then I was like point shoes. I just love every time at any moment, any break, I would wear point shoes, and I was like, I need to do this. Ballet was just meant to be. It was the best option at the best time. It was hard.
Yes.
It's really hard. It's not an easy job, and you're dancing 3 ballets a night every night, and sometimes just like all of them on point. On top of that, you're traveling, and it's nonstop. But it was definitely great, and I think I'm grateful for that, and I took that. Now I can say I did it, and I think it's now on to the next. For my teachers, even my parents, with this encouraging about me dancing with point was more the drag aspect or being a woman. And I think that's something that I totally enjoy it. It's amazing, and being like a character, you're not yourself. Like you can be anyone you want that night. But I do think that dancing as a male dancer, as myself, not trying to be a persona, not trying to be someone else. It's what I've always wanted to do. Makeup kind of like came with the job, and I don't even do it. Like I haven't done it since like I left the company a year ago. It kind of differs to other dancers that really are drag queens, or they just enjoy and love the drag aspect of dancing on point as a male dancer. So that's where I'm like a little like forging, or my own kind of like path, because it's a bit different.
I don't know where I can start because there are so many things that I loved about meeting Roberto. I originally had this binary idea of what male dancers are, and he just kind of blew me out of the water and opened my eyes towards other possibilities for male ballet dancers. His company is called Male Ballerinas, and by definition, it's kind of an oxymoron because ballerina is for female dancers, but he wanted to combine all of the things that made him unique. Roberto was a dancer with the Trucks for a couple of years, and if you're not familiar with Trucaderos, it's this great ballet company full of men that are on point, and it's a parody ballet company that takes traditional ballet roles and make it into this funny comedy routine. And it brings joy to the world, and it is just one of my favorite things to watch. And while there is a time and place for comedy in ballet, when it comes to male dancers, they're kind of stuck in this stereotype of either being dainty and feminine to this other side of being macho and lifting women. And one of the things that he said on his way out was, when I was dancing with the Trucks, why did I have to be a joke? Why can't I be a serious dancer? Why can't I be taken seriously when I'm dancing on point? I just thought about that and thought it was so sad that I wasn't able to see things beyond it. What he wanted to do was still be masculine, still be a man, and still be taken seriously while he was dancing, but at the same time still dance on point. It also helped a lot that he has incredible feet. Oh my goodness.
We call it a theater. Like that's the theater down there.
That's the whole theater.
The whole stage there.
The whole stage is on this platform. You darned it so much. And this is actually a pretty good tip because a lot of dancers that have very small platforms, it's really difficult for them to balance. But you can really make a lot of surface area just by darning. One of the craziest, beautiful feet I've ever seen in my life. Watching him going on point was incredible. He was able to get over on his point shoes. Not only is he flexible, he was able to use all of the muscles in his feet and his ankles to be able to pull himself up. And if he was just relaxing on top of his feet, he would have just pushed right over onto point. But he was able to pull up and actually align himself better because he has that much strength. Currently, he's in a shoe that breaks really quickly, but he was able to make those pointe shoes last a long time because he's able to use all of the muscles in his feet in order to pull up out of his pointe shoes. This is something that is very unique for men. So generally speaking, a lot of men have more muscles than women, and a lot of men weigh a bit more than women do. So when there's a lot more weight on the pointe shoes tend to break a little bit faster. There's a little bit more stress on the ankles. But because he was able to counter that flexibility with all of that strength in his bottom of the foot, he was able to pull up. It's like trying to do push-ups with your feet, just like this. That's exactly what he was doing. The way that you get stronger on pointe is when you're able to overload, just like any other muscle. You have to overload your muscles that require you to be on pointe and continue to roll through, continue to strengthen your feet by working harder. When a shoe is doing the work for you, you don't get stronger as quickly. So you have this dichotomy between these two things, like how much overload do you need and how much we're focusing on safety. So we have to figure out what that is for every single person. So some people may need a little bit more stability because they're a little bit weaker, and some people need a little bit more overload to get them to be stronger. Because generally speaking, a lot of men are stronger and their bodies are built this way. They can take a lot more overload than a lot of women can. So he was able to take something that he had to work really, really hard in and strengthen his feet. And when I was listening to his philosophy of teaching pointe, it was so much about strength, and it was so much about doing things correctly, because what a lot of people do is that they kind of use pointe shoes as a prop to kind of sit on top of. And when you do that, when your shoes are not really allowing you to move through those movements, it's very difficult to gain that kind of strength. Who would have thought that a man would be one of the greatest pointe teachers that you can have? While it is more uncommon to find men that have that kind of flexibility as Roberto does, I think there is a time and place for men to be on pointe without it looking like a joke. I think Charcadero is such an amazing company. It is so much fun. It's dressing up as something that you want to dress up as. It's pretending, it's acting, it's so fun. But at the same time, there should also be a place for men to be taken seriously on pointe, if that is what you want. And that's exactly what Roberto is trying to create in male ballerinas. It was incredibly inspirational, and it also made me rethink how I frame male dancers in the world. And because we are a company that deals with pointe shoes, generally we are mostly dealing with women. We fit a lot of men as well, but usually it is considered a joke. They're taking on a role like the stepsisters from Cinderella, and they are the comedy piece of it. Or we are fitting for Charcaderos who are dressed up as drag. I think it's so great, but I think it's wonderful that he's creating a space for people to pursue what they love in the way that they want to. If you like this video, please subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell. All of these things help us out. You can also buy some of our merch on our website. And if you are a dancer that would like to get a virtual fitting, we have all of those links in the description box. And if you have any questions, leave that on the comments, and I will see you guys later.